Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another YouTube video, Sisterly Conversation.
So our topic today is going to be on places to visit within the parishes in Barbados, and we chose to do this topic today because I don't know about other people, but for me personally, whenever I go on a vacation outside of the country, even actually when I go on a vacation within Canada too, like I like to research and I like to find out what is the things to do that what you can and cannot do because that's important. You have to know what is allowed in people's countries. Um, and then I also like to research places to go, and I tend to like either Google it or sometimes I go on other people's vlogs who have visited the places, and I've actually had some great pointers or gotten some great advice from these vlogs when preparing to go to the country. So we have decided to talk about our country, Barbados, and the places that we have visited. And so I'll start with St. Joseph. So in St. Joseph, one of the places that is a must see is Bathsheba. And what I can say, Anthony can join in at any time too.
Mm-hmm.
What I can say about Bathsheba is it is absolutely beautiful, very beautiful. But what I remember from visiting Bathsheba is that the ocean, like the water, is not bathing friendly. That's what I remember. Because I mean, the last time I visited Bathsheba was in 2024. Um, yeah, but the waters are usually rough. I know that they're usually good for surfing. Okay, I've heard of surfing competitions down at Bathsheba and stuff, but in terms of like sea bathing and stuff, it's not necessarily the best place. Was there like a little area though, like a pool or something that you could
Yeah,
have
I
bathed?
was just about to
Yeah, I
say
think I remember
the
there
soup
was.
bowl. You call it the soup bowl.
Yeah, I think I remember. I didn't see it the last time I went home though, but I think I remember like a little place that people used to just go and, it's like a little almost pool area that was not that wasn't dangerous. But for the actual beach, our ocean is pretty dangerous. The waves are very
Rough,
rough
hot and
and
high.
yeah. So yeah, that's basically what I have to say about Bathsheba. And also, I think, is it when you look at the opposite side of Bathsheba, there's a lot of like, not really mountains, but like hills that
Yeah,
adds to the
to
scenery
add to the
as well.
scenery. And when you're coming down the hill, the Bathsheba Hill,
Mm.
like coming from town, going down the hill, there's a beautiful view of the landscape of Bathsheba as well.
Mm.
So it's really nice. It's a very nice sight to see and very
Is a
beautiful.
must see, that some place that you can stop, you can picnic, you can, you know, if even if you're passing through, just stop and enjoy it. I know that sometimes you see tourist buses when you go there or whatever. People tend to it tends to be like a tourist stop for people. It's very beautiful. The next place I have in St. Joseph is Andromeda Gardens,
Hmm.
and that's like a botanical garden, and it has a lot of like um you call it fauna. You call it fauna,
Flora and fauna.
flora and fauna. Okay, just want to make sure, right? So it has its little wildlife. I will say no major wildlife, but there's a lot of plants, a lot of trees, a lot of herbs that you can, if you have you like that type of thing, you like nature, or you like seeing different types of plants and trees and so on, that is also another place that you can visit if you want to.
I think that I went there to see if I could have done something for my parents' anniversary years ago. But I
I
think,
went with you too.
yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah, right.
yeah.
But that's when COVID had no kind of hit,
It didn't hit fully yet.
or they hit fully yet. Okay.
I'm thinking about it. I don't think it had hit fully as yet, but we wanted to do like a
Oh yeah, it did hit. It had already hit already, but we had a situation whereby she couldn't come back at the time.
Mhm.
So I think that's what had
Or
happened. That's
maybe
why
we
it was a
waited until I
yeah
came back or something. But I remember going there because we were planning some
anniversary
type of like
party for my mom and
yeah,
dad.
yeah,
Yeah,
some
so
type of
I
like
was
second
able
marriage type thing.
I was able to see it, and it was very pretty. The
Hmm.
lady was very nice, so I don't think she works there anymore.
It was a while ago, so
Yeah,
you
it
never
was
know.
about 5 or 6 years ago. So yeah.
Hmm.
So my turn, right?
Hmm.
So Shanita went to the east. I'm going to the north. A place that I went to in St. Lucie was the Animal Flower Cave. Now, I didn't necessarily go into the cave. I went to see the view. The view is very gorgeous. It is on the Atlantic side of Barbados, the Atlantic Sea. And when you see those waves crashing and it like spouts up and stuff, that's a beautiful view.
Pitch.
Picture perfect.
Hmm.
So I really enjoy seeing the view. What I would like to do someday, I haven't done it yet, but what someday I would like to actually go into the cave
Hmm.
so that I can have a better view
Hmm.
of the water coming in and stuff like that. And there's a little place where you could bathe as well. But you gotta be careful because some of the waves are
Come
actually coming in,
against and
so you
yeah.
gotta be careful with that. But other than that, beautiful.
Yeah, I haven't been there as yet either. And that's definitely one of the places that I want to visit when I
Go
go
back.
back home.
Yeah. And then the next place I wanna go, Shanta might not be interested in this, but I'm interested. Is to go to see the Mount Gay Rum Distillery, just to have knowledge of our old rum history in. Sorry, I want to go to the Mount Gay Rum Distillery, not to drink rum, but to know
The
the
history of how
history
it was
because
made.
Barbados was one of the first places to actually have rum and is Mount Gay rum. And I would love to know the history. I really don't know the history of it, and it's something that I'm willing to learn because it's our culture too.
We are known for our rum.
Rum, yeah, we
It,
are known for
we
our rum.
actually created rum, from what I remember. But going there, you will learn the history, and obviously for others that are interested in visiting, you will all. I believe they also do taste testing tours,
Yes,
so they take you around the rum distillery, and then they also allow you to taste different types of monkey rum because we have different types of monkey rum. It's like we have several different ones. Brown
extra
rum, white
old
rum,
rum.
great ray is a different names. And so they give you like a little taste test and you get to see how, it was made, etc. etc.
Great.
So that was in what parish?
St. Lucie.
Okay. Alrighty. So the next one then I have is Gahil Signal Station. Now this one is a very popular one for me and Tony because it is very close to my grandmother's house. So we can actually walk there. And when you go to Gahil Signal Station, now I don't actually go up by
Signal
the signal
station.
station. Usually I've been to the signal station, but usually when we go, we don't visit the signal station up there, but we always go by where the white lion is. It's the carving of a white lion. It's not an actual lion. And a lot of people tend to visit there. Whenever I go there, and I go there all the time, whenever I come home, and even before I moved to Canada or whatever, people are always visiting there. And when you are up on that lane or up in that area, the landscape, when you look down, it is so beautiful. It's unreal. Like I wish we could have posted some pictures I had taken up there. It is so very beautiful. I
Yeah.
have no, it's just spectacular.
You call it the St. George Valley.
Hmm.
So the view is full of greenery. Very nice view. And Shanita forgot to mention, but we also go to church in St. George. So we used to have AOA sessions there back in the day. So sometimes we will just go up there to worship, fellowship. Yes, I used to listen to the service, but I used to pay more attention to the view at times. Just
Yeah,
my little secret.
more attention to talking.
Or
I
whatever.
don't mean you, but I mean like in general, like the
Oh,
young
oh, oh.
people
Oh, yeah.
would mostly be talking over there. But another point I want to make too is that this. I don't know. I guess the signal station you would probably have to pay to go in. It's more like a little museum, I guess.
Right, right.
But if you want to go to visit the lion area, like just passing through, is free of charge, and you can just stay there. And people like to take pictures on top of the land and take pictures of the scenic area around, and is a definite must go to. Yep.
And oh, that's the only place you have for St. George?
Hmm.
Okay. So I'm gonna go now to St. Peter, and we're gonna talk about the wildlife reserve, which is located literally opposite Farley Hill National Park, which is also in St. Peter. Um, Honestly, I have not been there in a long time. Back in the day, we used to do a lot of school tours, so
Church
that's
tours
and
too.
church tours too.
Hmm.
So like that's the last time I went. I haven't went as an adult. I've been always going there as a child. So that's something that I am willing to go and do when I reach back home, just to see the wild animals and see the deers, the turtles, and everything else that is there. Maybe it has updated or
Upgraded.
upgraded, I should say, because that was years ago. That was back in 2000, probably at 8, 9, or 10. So yeah, this is now 2026, 16 almost years later. So yeah, right. So I don't think Shanita would have been there since she was a child either,
Yeah,
or
no,
since church.
I haven't been there since I became an adult.
Right.
But I do remember going there a lot as a child. And yeah, it's beautiful. You usually see the animals. Barbados doesn't really have animals in terms of like lions
Lions
and
and tigers.
tigers and
Yeah.
elephants and the whole 9 yards. But things like I guess like to say turtle, you got the
The
certain
deers.
birds, iguanas and
Right.
different things like that. Um, I think even I almost say even the raccoon. I think even the mongoose. I'm pretty sure the mongoose is there too.
I never saw a mongoose at Wildlife
Well,
Reserve.
you haven't been there in a long time, but I'm pretty sure you might got the mongoose there.
Well,
And
you got mongoose on the roads. I see mongoose whenever you go to
yeah,
Barbados.
you got the mongoose on the road, but we got them there too, obviously.
All
But
right.
anywho, we haven't been there since we were adults, so it's definitely something to go back and confirm if
Right.
there's mongoose or not.
Correct.
So yeah.
Yeah, and then something else that I would really love to experience is going to the St. Nicholas Abbey and getting and going on the train ride. That had opened up, I think, after COVID. And only recently I was talking to a friend and she was actually telling me that the train ride was really nice. And her visit there was nice too because they also have a rum distillery, a private one, where they teach you the history and you're able to do rum tasting as well. But that's something that I want to do. I want to do the train right there. I mean, yeah, we live in Canada and we always travel by train, but to travel on, not even travel, but like to go on a train right at home is going to be cool because Barbados doesn't have trains, well, I should say anymore.
Anymore, because
Yeah,
we
because they
used to
used to
have
have
train back in
trains
the
right
day.
back in the day. So that's something that I would like to also experience. So that's St. Peter.
Sorry, guys. And now we're gonna be heading down to St.
Excuse
Thomas.
me.
I went to school in St. Thomas, by the way. I always have to shout out my LVS crew every time I talk about St. Thomas. But anywho, the best school in BIM. Anywho, uh, when we talk about St. Thomas, we're gonna head to Harrison's Cave and Eco Park. And we have been to Harrison's Cave a million times as children. Even I think in my 20s I went to Harrison's Cave. I haven't been back since. I wanted to go in 2024 when I went home, but it didn't happen. It was really like, cause by that time they had the eco park built. I've never done the eco park, but we did. Okay, let me go into what Harrison's Cave is. Basically, you get a introduction video into the cave and what it is, how it came to be, or whatever, and then you get on a tram, and basically they take you through the cave, and you get to see like a lot of stalagmites and stalactites, and they have little pools of water, and they show you around it, and they explain to you how these things were farmed, etc., etc. And yeah, it's very educational, very interesting to see. And now that they have added the eco part, I can only assume that it's even better. Like I said, I haven't been there since the eco part, but I've heard that there's a zip line, and there are like challenge courses, and so on and so forth. And I'm sure that is super exciting for those that like adventure, that have that adventure spirit. It would be an amazing experience. So, yep, that's what I have. And I think, what else do I have here? Um, Welch Mahogany. Welch Mahogany is something that we have been. You could drive through Welch Mahogany, right? I'm pretty sure.
You walk through Welshman Gully, not drive.
Oh, okay. Maybe again mixed up, but
You
yeah,
get it mixed up with Jack in the Box Gully and Russia Gully.
okay. Well, regardless, I'm sure we went to Welch Mahogany too as well, and there is a lot of tropical. What are you laughing at?
Because you asked if you could drive.
Anywho, there's a lot of tropical forests there, and again, you get that scenery as well. For those that like plants, trees, there's always people that love that type of thing. So,
I've never been to Rochmore Hall Gully before. I will pass it when I was going to secondary school at Aline, but to say that I actually went inside the gully to see the flowers, the flora, the fauna, whatever, I've never been to it. So that's somewhere I could possibly go to. Okay, moving along around the west coast of the island is St. James. So I would have been to, and both of us have been to Folkestone Marine Park. We would have gone there with the church. We would have gone there by our like with family or whatever. Um, it's not a lot of history there. It's just like a small little museum showing you or teaching you rather about the turtle
marine life.
or the marine life. So it's nothing too big, but it's something that you can go to learn more about the marine life in Barbados. And also there are a lot of tours in terms of like sea tours, so that you could do glass bottom boats. I mean, those are things now that are everywhere, but that back then, whenever we wanted to do like a glass bottom boat ride or anything like that of the sort, like snorkeling, whatever, we would always board from Folkestone Marine Park.
Um, Before you continue, so a really cool story for me too was when I went on a date there also with my boyfriend. Yes, in 2024. And when we were there, there were like a couple of people within the water, and there was this big fish that was chasing the little fish, and the little fish would like be constantly jumping out the water and coming back around, jumping out the water and coming back around, and everybody there was just so fascinated because we kept seeing the fish jumping out the water. It was like, why is the fish jumping out the water? But then we realized that something was chasing them. But it was actually a pretty cool sight to see, and everybody was just like awestruck because everybody was just staring at the whole thing that was going on. I mean, at first people was like a little scared, but then we realized what it was, and yeah.
That's
So
cool.
is oh, and then the rain came down. And so people were trying to figure out if they should come out the beach but when the rain come down, honestly, and you in the water, I mean,
It don't make no sense because you're
cause
already
you're
wet.
already in the water, but
Exactly.
I mean, not want your hair wet, but still.
Yeah, so um in St. James with the St. Folkestone, a lot of people now do snorkeling and swimming with the turtles and whatever. So that's also a nice thing to do. That's something I would like to do, but I'm so afraid of the beach because I can't swim. Like I like going to the beach, but I can't swim, so I'm telling myself like I'm not snorkeling. Cause I always hear my grandmother saying the sea ain't got no back door. So
She
like
says
that
so
lives
all
with
the
me
time.
all the days of my life. So I like to be on the shore. I am a sand bather. I'm a Caribbean woman, and I am a proud sand bather. So yeah.
Okay, and on to St. Andra.
Saint Andrew. For those who are not Bajans, Saint Andrew.
So,
Best place, by the way. I went to school there in that parish. Aline,
boo.
Aline's school. Alice on CB. For others not South. Hello.
Wait. Let me see if I can remember that one.
I bet you $5 you don't remember it.
Wait. I can't remember.
Rooted in knowledge we grow.
Right, rooted in knowledge we grow. Right, rooted in knowledge we grow.
Look, this girl knows nothing.
We grow. Yes. Thank you for that. That just goes to show how lesson one has imprinted in you, even though you were not a student there.
Absolutely
Yes. All right.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry about that little break.
Break in transmission.
So for Saint Peter, we have not Saint Andrew. Sorry, we have Cherry Tree Hill, and
I think it's borderline St. Peter, St. Andrew. Yeah.
Right. So we have Cherry Tree Hill, and honestly, that have great memories for me simply because we went there for my mother's 50th birthday in 2024. I keep talking about 2024 because that's it's not the last time I went home, but that's the last time I went home for a while.
Right.
Last time I went home, it was just a short, very, very, very short trip in 2025. It was super short, but in 2024 I was there for a while, and we went there for my mom's birthday, and we just took so much pictures up there because it's just very scenic, very, very beautiful. The views are like people were driving through and stopping and getting out and taking pictures. I mean, our country is just so beautiful. I just don't even know what to say. It is amazing. Tony, you got anything to add about that?
Cherry Tree Hill, the view is stunning. That's all I can say. Full stop.
Yeah, I think I heard a story that said Cherry Tree Hill got the names because he used to have a lot of cherry trees lining the road at one point or something like that. But I think
that should make sense.
I think that's how it got its name. But yes, and then another one that we visited was Morgan Lewis Windmill, and that's another one. The windmill, it doesn't there's no activity there now. I think it was 18th to 19th century windmill that used to ground the sugar cane or whatever. Um, and it said it was one of the largest sugar windmills in the Caribbean. Now, basically, it's just great for taking pictures. I don't think there's anybody standing up there telling you the history of it really, but it's good for taking pictures. And you remember going there?
Yeah, we went there 24 too.
Yeah, so it was nice.
Yeah, it's just something to see, just to say, well, we went to the windmill, because it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, but if you're ever taking a drive, these are some areas that you can just stop, take some pictures, and then move on.
Exactly. All right, moving along swiftly. So we're on to the south of the island, which is Christchurch. Sorry, not Saint Christchurch. So Christchurch is where I enjoy the most about Bajan culture
and Bajan food.
Oysters. I love going to Oistins on Saturday night after church. When I used to live back home, I used to go after work as well when I was working back home as well. And I just love Oistins. And Oistins do have their fish festival. It's now gone. In it was on Easter weekend, so last month. And as per usual, it was really, really good. Secondly, in Christchurch, whenever we talk about Christchurch, we also talk about the boardwalk, the Richard Haynes boardwalk. I've been there several times.
Me
I
too.
go there all the time.
Often.
When I used to be working in Barbados, I used to go there just to sit down and have lunch or just to watch the sea crashing. That's sorry, the waves crashing. So like, I mean, it's not really a tourist site, but it's just somewhere to go.
A lot of people also go there on dates, like especially at night. You'll see like a lot of couples
Yes.
taking little walks, holding hands on the
Kissing,
boardwalk.
everything.
You know,
I saw it all.
so it's just a very romantic spot as well that people would, frequent.
Right. So that's it for Christchurch.
Um, yeah, and I have a lot of family living in Christchurch too. So I mean, we have family all around Barbados, to be quite honest. But
Hmm.
anyway, next for us is Saint Michael.
That's where we're
That's where
from.
we live.
We lived.
We lived, and that's whenever we go home where we stay.
Stay. Hmm.
Majority of the time. So for Barbados, obviously we have our capital is Bridgetown. For those who are not from Barbados who are listening to us. And then some of the places that I have visited, Tony, you can, you know, jump in at any time. We have the Parliament building where they hold
Parliament.
Parliament,
Hmm.
you know. Um, People go there also. I'm pretty sure there's some, information around that as well. Outside of that, then there's George Washington House. I actually went to George Washington House. It was very, very interesting. George Washington was a president in America, and at some point he stayed in Barbados. I think it was when his brother was sick or something he was passing through. I don't remember the story exactly, but he stayed in Barbados and he had a house here. Well, he had a house there. Well, he stayed in Barbados, and basically it's like a little museum. You basically go through it, and you see the rooms. You see even where the the different rooms that they had. I believe there was even a room that the slave stayed in as well. Yeah, I think at that time they would have had slaves too, or whatever. I don't remember, but they it gives a lot of history about the the house that he lived in. Then there's a Barbados Museum. We've gone there several times as well, and it basically gives the history of our country from back in
Slavery times. Yeah.
Amerindian times with our indigenous people. So you talk about the Arabs and the Caribs, and then it goes on to the slavery, like what Barbados slavery period, and then from there it moves on to Bajan life after that, and up to present. It even talks about Rihanna as well, different things like that. Must see if you are into history or historical stuff. Then there's Garrison Savannah, where the soldiers, I think they're the soldiers or something used to some type of history with the soldiers there. But is also known for horse racing as well. And a lot of people go over there to see their favorite horse race around the track. And
True.
then there's the National Hero Square, where we have Tony. What did they just build? Let me just bring you in there.
The Freedom Square. Freedom Square. They got Hero Square, which is where the statue. No, Wait, what's Hero Square?
National Hero Square is where they have all
Oh, the
the
monuments. The
monuments of all the
monuments, right.
national heroes.
And then
So
Independence
each
Square is right where Barrow statue is,
right.
right?
So basically, there's the monument, not the monument. It's like almost like yeah, a monument type thing, but is there's the pictures are not really picture, but like
It's like
a
a carving.
carving
Hmm.
of the national heroes and the history under not well
What they did.
the description
Right.
is what we're looking for under it. Um, and it includes all of our national heroes. And then my favorite one to visit was the builders of Barbados Wall. That was my favorite, and that's because every single Bajan's last name is on that wall, and they have left space for Bajans that people that made a difference or made some or did some type of something in history that might not have been known. They left space for those people as well. But every what I like about it is because every single Beijing's is on there, showcasing what we have contributed to our country. It has people. It has from the Amerindian names. It have a lot of European people's names, Asian
Asian,
names,
Africa.
African names, Indian names, and every single Bajan household last name that you could think of. And I loved seeing my grandfather's name there, my grandmother's last name, uh, my biological father's last name, which is also my last name, um, and my dad's last name as well, and so on and so forth. We were looking at every name that is connected to us, and we found every single name that was connected to us there, and it just made us feel a part of. So that was why I loved it. Every time I go home, I think I'm gonna go there and just look at it
Look at it, the names
because
again.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it just shows appreciation. Whoever came up with that idea, it was brilliant. It just shows appreciation for what you've done for your country. So
So we are winding down, heading to the east.
this turned too much. This video got longer than I thought. Yeah, but anyway, continue.
Yeah. So in St. Philip, um, I have been to Bushy Park.
Oh, Bushy Park was a
Bushy
favorite.
Park, to see the rally. So rally
Mhm.
is like seeing cars race. Now I am going to be honest. I have no anything. I don't know anything about rally, and it's not a sport that I totally enjoy because it's a bit too loud for my ears. So I don't really enjoy the sport, but I have been to Bushy Park. A lot of persons who love rally go to Bushy Park to watch the races and stuff like that. But that's somewhere you can go to in St. Philip. And then there's a particular beach that I see everybody posting on social media. It's called Shark Hole. I've never been and I would love to go. I actually wanted to go when I went back home in 2024, but that did not work out because up to now I'm still trying to figure out where it is. But I will use GPS the next time I go to Barbados so that I can figure out where it is. But it looks very cool, very calming, and somewhere to just relax. So I would definitely like to go to Shark Hole.
Okay, and then the last parish I have is St. John. That's where my boo is from. Anyway, um, and there's a lot of historical buildings there as well. There's the St. John Parish Church that a lot of tourists come to visit. There's Codrington College. I also went to school in St. John. I went to Lodge School,
Oh,
Sixth
both of
Farm.
us.
Both of us went to Sixth Farm Lodge School, and that's in St. John as well. It's also one of the oldest schools in Barbados as well,
Oh, the secondary school.
secondary school. But then back to Codrington College, that's more like a theologian school where they train a lot of priests and different people studying um, theology. But again, another beautiful,
View.
very very beautiful scenery up there, and there's also like a duck pond as well. Um, yep. but it's just very, very beautiful. Um, then there's Bath Beach. Bath Beach was beautiful. It's still beautiful, but the last time I went to Bath Beach, there was a lot of
Sargassum.
yeah, a lot of seaweed and different things. But I would love if it was cleaned up because Bath Beach was it for me at least. Um, and then there's Pothole Spring. I don't really want to come out and talk about the little secret of Pothole Spring, but a lot of people, I'm pretty sure by now, a lot of people might know about this spring, and I enjoy going there. It's just very calming, very beautiful. The locals keep the spring very beautiful and clean, and it's always a nice place to stop at if you know you want to see more nature. Um, so yeah, and what I would have to say to our beaches, there's beaches all around Barbados, and whenever you go, you can always stop at a beach. Like I said, there are beaches all around. So that's about it. One more thing I would love to say though is that Barbados, these tourist sites and other tourist sites that we might not have mentioned, but these tourist sites I feel are not only for tourists, and that's like a big thing for me. I feel like our people need to also, because I know a lot of Bajans don't tend to go out and enjoy um, what we our country has to offer. We
True.
usually leave it for tourists, but I think that we as Bajans need to go out there and see what the tourists also enjoy and get to know different parts about our country and what it has to offer. Because I can't leave everything for the tourists, but just, I mean, it's always great to have tourists come in and see different things, but I also want to encourage the locals as well to enjoy it and you know, have fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So, with that being said, I know this is a very long video, but please like
Share.
and subscribe and leave a comment letting us know what you think and if there are any other places that you are willing to visit in Barbados, or if you already visited and want to just share your experience, feel free to do so. So, until next time,
Bye.
bye.